Hey, everybody. Welcome to the HomeHappy podcast, episode 2. We're thrilled to be here with you, and we're looking forward to talking about current market, current rates, what it's like in Canada with real estate right now. I'm here with our regular people, Dallas and Kalinka. We're going to start off with Dallas. Dallas, we're in a weird market where, I hate saying that because we're always in a weird market, but we're certainly in a strange time with these threats of tariffs and on and off. And we don't have a prime minister really right now. We kind of have one, but he's not really interested in fixing what's going on. Tell us about your take on what you're seeing in the real estate market.
Well, if we start with condos, we're seeing the majority of sales, in my opinion, coming up in that 550 and under. The 700, 750, $800,000 condos, they're sitting. You know, when it comes to you're going to buy a house, you're going to buy a condo when that's that close of a price, especially if you're paying a strata fee of $600. So that's what we're seeing the majority of is that lower end condo. That is what's moving on the market. And in terms of housing, 800 to 1.2, that is still the sweet spot.
Right. And high end stuff, just what's going on with that?
It's starting to move a bit, but it's nothing like we're seeing in the lower end stuff. Obviously, it's a niche market and there's less buyers for that market.
And I kind of feel like the old days of you bought a condo, then you bought a townhouse, then you bought a house, then you bought your big house, that those stepping stones don't seem the same anymore. Does that seem real?
Well, it matters where you're getting your money from, right? So if mom and dad are pulling a line of credit out or gifting their kids $200,000, they're moving up. Maybe they're not buying that condo and they're going straight to the fourplex townhouse or single family home.
Right. Lincoln, tell us a bit about what's going on with mortgages and rates and that part of the real estate spectrum.
Isn't that the fun part that we like to talk about? But there's a lot of chaos and a lot of, everyone has an opinion. And at the end of the day, it really matters to what you're looking for, the people that are helping you. But it's like a little bit of what you said, Mike. What seemed to be the stepping stones in the past is not really what it is right now. So maybe, that first-time buyer who used to buy, a condo, then a townhome, and moving to a single home is not exactly what's happening in the market right now, especially if the parents are helping and, there's a little bit more of a down payment where they can afford a little bit bigger of a first home. So in terms of what's going on in the market, there's a lot of chaos out there, and it boils down to what we always talk about, knowing your plan, the people that are helping you, and educating yourself, which is what we try to do to everyone we speak to our clients. And touching on that, just quickly letting everyone know that's listening to our podcast, please share with, your people, your friends, your family. This is not only for clients, but to everyone that might come to your mind that you want to share.
Yeah. And today we had the U.S. inflation numbers come in higher than we expected. The market was expecting 2.9, I think, and it came in at 3. It doesn't sound terrible, but Canadian inflation's at 1.8. So they're a lot farther up from us. And what that means is they're going to have to leave their rates higher longer to deal with that inflation. And that's going to hit us to some degree. I mean, we've gone in a different direction. We've dropped our prime rate quite a bit. We went from 7.2 down to 5.2. They've made a few cuts, but they're not going to probably make any more for a while until they see those numbers change. And everybody's trying to interpret how Trump and his tariffs will impact inflation. Nobody knows the answer. We don't know in Canada. They don't know in the US. So a lot of people think rates are going to go up. A lot of people think rates are going to go down. I mean, in basic concept is Canada's in a recession or very near it. If we get tariffs, we're going to be in a bigger recession. And in recessions, rates go down because the Bank of Canada has to try and prop up the economy. So the likelihood is prime will be going down further, not going up. And fixed rates have not gone down as much as people think they have. They were hovering up in the 6s. Now we're down in the mid 4s. So the 5-year fixed anyways, and the short-term fixed rates are still quite high. So it's kind of a weird environment. You would have thought fixed rates would have come down further. They haven't. But that can mean opportunities for people who either coming due or also that are, in a higher rate fixed rate. now is a good time to look at moving into a variable because you can still ride this wave downwards, hopefully, and then look at locking in if the rates come down further, which all of this is guessing. But it's an interesting market. I think everybody thought in September that rates are going to come down. Boom, the market's going to kick off. That didn't happen. It started to in a little bit in December, and now it's sort of tailed off. There's still some, there's activity, but it's not what we expected for what's supposed to be a spring market or starting to be a spring market. Dallas, you're seeing it on the road, on the ground. When people are talking to you, are they still like holding back, do you find, or are they wanting to do things?
I think people are ready to go.
Yeah.
If they've been sitting on the sidelines for a year or 2 years, and like I tell people, there's always divorce, there's always deaths, there's always upgrades. Like, life goes on.
Yeah.
So we're always seeing movement. It doesn't matter if the market, and not to mention, this is the most important thing, you're buying and selling in the same market, right? So if you're selling your condo, everyone is always so concerned about the loss. Oh, I'm going to lose 50,000 on this condo. Well, you're going to gain it when you buy a single family home that's come down 150 to 200 grand. So that's the fear of loss is always the biggest challenge in people's mindset that we got to get. That's the hurdle we really always have to get over.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it is mindset that people need to work on. There's pent up demand for sure over the last couple of years. They watched rates go up. They're terrified. Nobody did anything. Rates have come down to be more reasonable. And I think that mindset of waiting for everybody else to jump first is, I don't know, it's dangerous because you got to make your own moves for your own reasons and make your own plan. Like, you're a big plan maker. What do you think of that?
Yeah, no, and what I was going to mention is sometimes you think, oh, no, I'm going to sell my house and I'll wait until it sells and then I'll buy the other house, or, vice versa. And, there's different ways to doing the same thing. That's something that it was at a table discussion for us at home yesterday. There's different ways to do, to achieve that goal. So, for example, us using my experience or something that happened to us recently in my family, we sold our home. And now we're waiting to buy our home. We are in that mid time where we might have to rent for a little bit or, find a different solution until we buy our next house. And so I find that, people are a little bit scared to, bank that money until they find a new home and buy the new house. But sometimes that's the solution that works. So does that make sense?
Yep, absolutely.
And we're obviously seeing rents come down.
Yeah.
Watching Castellanum, watching new units that have been built, say in Aqua, for instance, rent started, they were asking 3,400, 32, now at 28. So rents are coming down. So you want to sell right now and just sit on the sidelines and wait. Rental to rent right now is not a bad option.
Okay,
Yeah.
I think we'll wrap it there for this session of our market update. And thank you all for listening. And we'd love you to subscribe. We'd love you to share this video. And we'd love your comments because we're looking forward to new topics and new podcasts. So thank you both for being with us.
Thank you.
All right,
see you
take
guys
care.
next one.
Okay.